Anyways, this is 65 South Sports. I'm Jason.
Darius here.
Chandler.
Those are my homies right there. We're gonna do some Super Bowl recap. We're also gonna do some draft recap, or not draft recap. Wrong word of choice, right? Choice of words. We're actually gonna talk about the mock draft that Todd McShay dropped today, his 2.0. You can't really take it too serious just because it's gonna be revised a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought the pick that he had for the Titans was really interesting, but we'll get into that later. As of right now, I think the biggest thing that everybody's talking about is the Super Bowl.
Yes, sir.
And that's going to be our first topic. So Philadelphia takes their first Super Bowl victory of their franchise history over the Patriots. We kind of predicted it, kind of not a little bit. I mean, we kind of said, we wouldn't be surprised if it happens. But what'd y'all think?
It was great. I ain't gonna lie. I had a lot of fun watching the Super Bowl. It was some people were just like, oh, I don't know if it's gonna be as exciting because I guess a lot of people really want to see Wentz play.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people really. I found that out like early before the game, but a lot of people weren't interested because it was like, well, the Patriots gonna take it because Wentz is not playing.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nick Foles just completely just like, no. He shut everybody up and then he put the team on his back and actually went out there and he balled out.
Yeah.
Not only that, like Wentz absolutely just like this. Now, give credit to not Wentz, damn Foles. Foles absolutely balled out throughout the entire game.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the entire New England defense is trash. Like, I mean, everybody in that secondary was just completely bad. And the one person in that secondary you expect to make plays was Devin McCourty a lot of the time. And he wound up getting his butt like stumbling and all this and that on the Zach Ertz touchdown. So a great performance by Nick Foles throughout. He had 373 passing yards, 3 TDs, and 1 pick. And the 1 pick wasn't his fault. It was Alshon Jeffrey trying to do too much.
Yeah, tipped it back to him.
Catch and then tipped it back into the air and wound up being a pick. But, I mean, give the Eagles a lot of credit for this.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think the interception Foles threw, it was – it may have. I guess you can make the argument the pass shouldn't have been thrown since it was kind of double coverage. But at the same time, like I have to put that more so on Alshon.
I mean,
yeah,
Foles made the throw. I mean, Alshon
it was a good throw.
He just couldn't handle it.
Yeah, and then he tried tipping it to himself, which is never a good idea. And
Right.
it allowed Harmon to get back in position to make that play. But I mean, I think the one thing that really stuck out to me, like you said, was Nick Foles just absolutely killed it. I mean, and the thing about it is we kind of expected him to be honest. Even less surprised about Philly destroying their city over the win. Oh, man.
Oh.
Gabby's talking about Philly fans going crazy in downtown Philly.
Yeah, they were rabid.
Yeah, that I really hope if the Titans ever win one or if the Preds win one, that doesn't happen here.
Because I don't think Nashville is that kind of city. I feel like it's a little different than what – because Philly fans are crazy in general.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw what they did before the Vikings game. They were flipping them off and throwing stuff at them. But, I mean, this is their very first, like, Super Bowl. So it's a little more expected for them to be a little amped up.
Right.
Yeah. But anyways, back to what we were saying. I mean, we kind of expected it, but the thing that was interesting to me was, Nick Foles had been playing really well over the course of the postseason. And especially, the Minnesota game, with Minnesota's strength, with the strongest thing about their team is their secondary and how many playmakers they've got back there with Xavier Rhodes and Harrison Smith and all those guys.
Yeah.
And he torched them, and he comes up to New England and does the exact same thing. And it was surprising to me, but I'd almost expected him to do it because he had so much success against the Vikings secondary, which is their strength. And as we all know, Patriots secondary is not that good. They're really not. I mean, and I think he definitely highlighted that. I mean, they've got talent. Devin McCourty's a good player. Stephon Gilmore is also a really good player, but he tore them up.
And you notice, like, when they stopped throwing to Alshon, like, he torched, like, Eric Rowe on that first drive or two.
Yeah.
And then they stopped going to Alshon after that pick. Because Stephon Gilmore, once they put Gilmore on him, they're like, okay, we're not throwing. They threw maybe to him one more time on that controversial. Yeah. Maybe it was a PI in the end zone, maybe not. I mean, still, it was great coverage, if you ask me. Yeah. But, I mean, Alshon, for the most part, was – and then it started becoming Nelson Aguilar, who started taking over the game with little underneath routes. And then Ertz started getting more involved. So, And like I was saying, like last week, Philly does a great job distributing the ball to multiple receivers throughout the game.
Yeah, that's one thing I do like about that offense is that they do give everybody involved. They get everybody involved, and I like how they run their system too. A lot of like pick plays, like in the net, in like a sense, or like a lot of crossing routes where you get the defense like caught in traffic and that leaves your wide receiver open. I like how they do that, and then that's like I said, that's how you distribute the ball, and that's how you get other receivers like Corey Clement. Like he had a real big game.
I mean, Corey Clement took over. That was crazy.
4 receptions for 100 yards. Like,
yeah, I had a feeling he just might too because I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah,
but yeah, I was like, they also got a third running back on their team. I'm like Ajayi and then Blunt, but anytime Clement comes in the game, they pretty much either throw to him or he's
fast, man.
Yeah,
like
he was really
fast.
I mean, he really in terms of his play style, he reminds me of like James White or Deion Lewis. I mean, it's kind of funny how they kind of mirror each other. And Corey Clement took over that game. I mean, anytime he was on the field, he wasn't really running the ball, but he was making plays out of the backfield, catching the ball.
Now we do got to talk about that touchdown he caught.
Yeah, I agree. But first, before we get into that,
got 2 comments.
Rusty, my friend Rusty, what's up, man? He says Philly forced Keenum to beat them. They took the running game out of the equation, and eventually Foles figured out the defense. And then he also says the fact that 4 different players caught a touchdown pass is a great example of that. And I mean, that's a great point by Rusty right there. I mean, I think they really didn't make it a point to say we're not going to just feed Alshon just because he's our best.
They're not going to feed Ertz.
Or Ertz, yeah.
And Ertz had 7 catches in this game. Him and Alshon had 10 catches combined.
Yeah.
With a total of 17 targets. So 10 catches, 17 targets.
That's nice.
And also, the one thing that stuck out to me, in case y'all don't know, I'm a Titans fan. When the Patriots played the Titans, and the Titans, they kind of hang their hat on their offensive line most of the time, even though this year wasn't as good. But the one thing that the Patriots did really well was get in Marcus Mariota's face and put pressure on him.
Yeah.
This game, that didn't happen at all. And they had 8 sacks against the Titans. This game, they didn't have 1.
And I don't even remember them pressuring the Jags that much either. Because Borders looked like he had a lot of time to throw. And I felt like, Jacksonville, maybe they do actually have a good offensive line. But they were saying Philly has like the number 1 ranked offensive line.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
And this is without Jason Peters. And their center went down in the center or guard went down in that game too.
Yeah.
Ooh, excuse me.
You're a Titans fan, man. Never would have noticed. I know. I can't help it. My two-tone blue is showing at all times.
Yeah, they with that shirt you got on. We
can't well, they can't see me, but that's fine. I do have a plaid two-tone blue shirt on. But so I mean, I think that really stuck out. I think the Patriots going into the game, we all said that the Patriots defense wasn't going to be able to stop Philly all game long.
Oh yeah.
And like we said last week, we all knew that Brady was going to come in and put up numbers. Like that's just what he does. But the main thing was going to be, could New England stop Philly? And they couldn't do it over the course of the game.
Well, they actually had only 1 stop, and that was a punt.
They only punted 1 time.
That was for both teams. It was only 1 punt.
Credit, I mean, in Philly defense played no defense at all either. I mean, Brady was picking up the ball left and right.
Good.
Brady had 505 passes, 3 touchdowns, and no picks.
New England put up the most yards, I think, in any postseason game ever with a loss.
No, this is any game in NFL history ever, not just the postseason. It was throughout the entire NFL and still lost.
And still managed to lose.
Yeah, that's sort of rough.
And then Doug Peterson, another thing, he's the only person to ever beat Belichick twice, and it was once as a player and once as a coach.
And the crazy part is he was a player on the Cleveland Browns. So that's how you know
how crazy is that?
Out of all the people you lost, it was the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, so that's pretty wild. What else stuck out? I think there's definitely the idea that not having Dante Hightower really hurt that defense. That's for sure.
Yeah, when that man plays, so he's like an anchor of the defense too.
Yeah. I mean, he's that voice on that side. So you knew that was going to be a major part of him not playing. Because when I was watching, I was like, because my brother's a big Pats fan, so I was just telling him, like, you can definitely tell they're missing Hightower. A lot. Because the way Blunt and Ajayi were just running that ball, they couldn't stop nothing. Like literally nothing. And it'll be first down. They might get 2-3 yards with a run play or a little something. But every time it was second down, they got 7-8 yards, made it a short third down, boom, pick it up. Now, Ertz made one of the best plays on third down. He caught it. I don't know if he was short or not. It looked like he already stretched out for it. That's how you go win a football game.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the plays of the game too.
Yeah, I mean every yard counts, especially in a game against the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
And
So
leaving all that on the line, I mean, there's no sense changing up the playbook. And I thought New England, for whatever reason, were running plays they normally don't.
yeah, like that pass play to Tom Brady.
And apparently they've only run that like once, and that was like 2 years ago.
It was just some innocent.
All right, I gotta head out and get ready for NSC again. Okay, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll already be. I got a class at 7:20, so I already told Alvin I'd be a little late, so he already knows.
He gonna be late to anything anyway.
Yeah,
pretty
much. But back to the topic at hand. You know that pass play to Tom Brady was just dumb. But I think it's hilarious that Philly said, "Okay, all right, fine. Y'all want to throw a pass to your quarterback. Nick Foles go catch this touchdown." And that's what I mean. They answered back.
I felt like the Patriots were trying to get too cute
doing
stuff. Because then, there were some other big moments in this game. Gostkowski misses a field goal in that game.
And he missed
two.
PAT.
Yeah, and then he missed PAT. And my thing was the Patriots, I was like, it's 4th down, and they're at the 35-yard line. You got Gostkowski. He can hit a 52-yard field goal.
Yeah.
Later, he does miss a chip shot field goal. He missed one like 20-some yards. But they threw a high-risk pass with a low reward.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they were trying to go to Gronk deep down the sideline, and it was all covered. So, I was wondering, what were they doing?
Well, that was another thing that I thought about coming right out of halftime when the Patriots got the ball back. They were feeding Gronk. And I was like, this is when they really start to get their wheels turning a little bit, and this is what's going to, spark the comeback.
And that's what they did against Jacksonville, too. They started hitting them, and I'm like, they're going to wind up being Gronk hurt. Because when I was watching, like I said, I was watching with my brother, and then he's like, it's the first pass he threw to him, like, hit the dirt. Yeah. It was like the exact same play they threw against Jacksonville when he got lit up. Mm-hmm. So that play, he was like, he thinks Brady, it was because people are like, oh, Brady's accuracy's all over the place on that play. Mm-hmm. They're like, what is he doing? He's like, I think he's throwing that kind of pass because he didn't want to get Gronk killed again.
Yeah. I mean, I agree, but it was just weird because the first half, I mean, he had some catches, I believe, in the first half, but he didn't really have any big-time plays. The second half, the first drive,
he went absolute, like
he went berserk.
Yeah. He was catching everything. Yeah, he was catching everything and running downfield.
Yeah, I mean, it really looked like he was like, Tom, throw me the ball, like in the huddle. I mean, that's really what it looked like because he just took over out of nowhere.
Yeah. I mean, I was surprised that they kept feeding Gronk and Gronk and Gronk and Gronk. They never made a switch. They said, Malcolm Jenkins, you take care of these running backs, they're not going to be the ones to beat us. We're going to actually let their best wideouts and come out here and win this game. Mm-hmm. And it almost backfired.
Yeah. And Malcolm Jenkins made some big plays that game, too.
He was making plays throughout that entire game.
Yeah. I mean, I think Malcolm Jenkins should definitely get some recognition for his role in that game because he made some big time plays.
He did, yeah. I ain't gonna lie, he covered Gronk good too. Mm-hmm. Like on the plays where he was assigned on him, like I think he did a real good job on him.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't like Ohio State, but
Oh my goodness.
Well, there's Darius and his Michigan fandom, but
gotta get one a day.
Yeah, that's all right. But yeah, so halftime show, what we think?
I ain't gonna lie. I like Justin Timberlake. That was me. I like Justin Timberlake, but his shoe game, fire.
Yeah.
Shoe game was fire.
Yeah, now they're reselling his shoes for like $2,000.
Oh yeah, I looked on eBay. Yeah, they're going for like $6,000. Like $2,000 to $6,000. I'm just like, oh, yeah, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
But
I like the Prince tribute.
That was my favorite part of it, though.
Yeah,
I like it.
And there were a lot of people who were saying, I guess it got a lot of like mixed reviews on it. So there were a lot of people who loved it. And a lot of people who hated it.
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of people that are Prince fans, and they were just like, seriously, why did y'all do this?
Yeah. So well, I think it makes sense. I mean, it was in Minnesota.
I know. That's what I was saying. I'm like, well, I mean, he ran this whole dang state. So.
Yeah. I mean, I think it makes sense, but that was just me. I thought it was good. I mean, I like the Prince tribute. I can't ever say that word right. I like how they lit up the entire city, like purple. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I thought that was really good. The commercials were. I didn't like the commercials this year. I didn't think they were that good. The Eminem one with
yeah, I like that one.
What's his name?
I don't remember.
Oh, the older guy.
Yeah,
he was the red Eminem. I know you're talking about.
Yeah, I like that one. I can't remember his name. I'm bad with actors' names.
What did you think about the Giants one?
That was funny.
Now, did you see?
I like that.
Did you see what they put on the New York Post?
Yeah, I sent that to you.
Yeah, that was like.
I was like, oh yeah, and by the way, the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
it was like right corner. It was like, yeah.
Yeah,
but that makes sense because they're
rivals.
They're
Yeah,
rivals. So, it kind of makes sense. But
I just thought
that was hilarious.
I thought
that was
funny.
the funniest part.
That was funny. My favorite commercial had to be, it was the It's Another Tide commercial, and it was the one with the guy from Old Spice.
Oh yeah,
that was funny. I liked it.
Yeah, because it was kind of like, what is this commercial even about? And the one about Australia, did you see that?
Mm-hmm,
yeah, that one.
It looked like a movie trailer, but then it turned out to be this ain't no
Cowboy Dundee.
Because I was like, are they trying to do
Cowboy Dundee? Yes, I was like.
Crocodile, yeah, Crocodile Dundee. I was like, is that what that is? And then I was like, are they
right.
really making a remake of that? And then eventually I was like, no, it's not.
Now, that's when I had the problem when it's clearly they're making a remake of Die Hard.
Yeah.
And they're going, we're just gonna call it Skyscraper. Like, first off, The Rock is in almost every single movie that comes out nowadays. I don't know how he does
that. Man get paid big time.
But why didn't they just call this a Die Hard remake? Because they remake every single movie nowadays anyway.
Yeah.
But I had a problem with them just like, I'm really gonna call it Skyscraper. Everybody knows good and well this is freaking Die Hard.
So
I my favorite. Well, I told him. He said don't count, but the Han Solo movie is gonna be. When I seen Danny Glover, Childish Gambino, and I was just like saying, yes.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited for that too.
I gotta watch it.
But I think
2005.
In what?
2005. Chandler's over here making Childish Gambino song title references, but that's all right.
Everybody love Gambino.
Yeah, Gambino's nice. I like Gambino. But I think the biggest play that we got to talk about, that everybody's talking about, is the Jesse James 2.0 play with
Actually, I thought the Corey Clement one was.
Now that one
more controversial.
I thought that's more controversial than, if you ask me, Zach Ertz is a touchdown because that's how it should be. Now by the rule book, no, that's an incomplete pass. But how it should be, yes, that should be a catch, touchdown, rewarded to him. For Corey Clement, that's an incomplete pass. He basically juggled it.
Yeah,
and
that was my thing. When
the foot was out,
he tried to switch. That's what it looked like. He tried to switch.
Yeah, because he literally took 2 steps, and that looked like a touchdown. But then after he took his 2, the ball shifted in his left arm.
And then he was trying to put it back. And then I was like, I mean, how are you guys? Al Riveron was at the game. He's the dude that's in New York that always makes all the calls. And he's been blowing crap all year.
Yeah.
So he's actually at the game this time, not in New York, looking at all his big old monitors he's got. So my thing was, you've been calling this inconsistently all year. When the Super Bowl, now you're going to try to fix some things?
Yeah.
Now, all I know is this. Nobody was really saying much about these, but I guarantee you, if that happened to the New England Patriots, people would have raised hell because of it.
Yeah.
They would have.
Yeah, if it
especially
was
Darius.
Yeah, especially
Darius, because Darius is a Patriot hater. I think we all hate the Patriots a little bit. I mean, I think that's fair to say.
I know
at this point. No? Okay, well, Chandler's the outlier. I hate the Patriots, but that's
I can't stand it.
When I saw that play with Corey Clements, my thing was he pulled it down, and he definitely got 2 down.
Yeah. And then I was fine with that, but the only problem I had was when it clearly shows the ball shift. That's why Chris Collinsworth was just like, that's an incomplete pass. Yeah. And I would just wish Tony Romo was there so he could do all those oohs and ahs,
See, my thing with it was like Collinsworth even said it. He was like, I don't know what a catch is anymore.
No, nobody does. That's why, like Tony Romo, you got, like I said, Chris Collinsworth, Troy Aikman, all the analysts, they just give up. Yeah. Chris Collinsworth was a receiver.
Yeah. And the funny thing about it was before the game, they announced Goodell was going to tweak the catch rule before the game. So that was even before that happened.
Yeah. Well, they're going to adjust that in the offseason. They can't do it right
Obviously,
now.
of course. Yeah. But I think what my point is they should have done that a long time ago.
Yeah, after the Megatron thing.
Yeah, because or even the Dez catch. I mean, even then.
But it all started with the Calvin Johnson versus Bears when he caught it. It's clearly a touchdown. Now, of course, I was happy about it, but it's clearly a touchdown. I mean, he all he did was get up and push the ball on the ground to help him get up. Yeah. And the ball flies out of his hand. Yeah. Like, how do you call that?
Yeah. My thing is, the way I look at it is, if it hits your hands and it doesn't move after it hits your hands, and you get 2 down,
2 feet down,
that's a catch. It's that simple.
Yeah, you need to take out all the process of the catch and
you got to control it.
You got to make a football move. No. 2 feet down, you got that ball in your hands. The ball's on.
That's it.
That's a catch.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't fall out of your hands on the way down, that's it. That's all it is.
I bet they would have caught an incomplete pass if that ball Ertz had would have shot out. Like, if he didn't really catch it, I bet they probably would have caught it.
Yeah, because the second I saw that play, I was like, this is either going to go really bad or it's still going to go really bad. Like, there's no good outcome in this, especially in a big moment like that in the Super Bowl. There's going to be a lot of people that's going to be mad either way it goes.
Oh, yeah.
And I just feel like at this point, it's one of those things where it's like, it's such a simple thing and it's such an integral part of playing football. They need to fix this.
Yeah.
I mean, it can't continue to be an issue because it's one of those things where it's going to happen literally every single game.
It is.
And they need to fix it.
Yeah.
Or else it's going to continue to be a problem, and then it's going to happen again in a really big game, in a really big moment, and it's going to cause another issue all over again.
Yeah. I think, like I said, if it keeps on going, like, if it keeps going back and forth, then there obviously needs to be a change. I don't think that, excuse me, I don't think that they have to, like, fix it, like, towards, like, a certain group of positions, like, of course, like, wide receivers, but I want to see, like, what are they going to say is going to constitute a catch. Like, I think what you said, like, just getting two feet down and just controlling the ball, just catching it, tuck it, cool. But I think if it's really just you got to maintain and the ground can't cause incompletion, I just think it's sort of like time wasting.
Yeah. Well, my problem is that when they catch the ball, so like the Jesse James situation, he caught it at 2 feet down, extended for the plane, but the ball shifts when he extends. My problem is, so when Cam Newton, he had a play earlier this year, he ran the ball with it and basically just dove and pretty much dunked over the guy and barely the tip of the ball crossed.
But they call that a touchdown.
That's called a touchdown, but the ball flew out of his hand because he lost control of it. Now, why is that considered a touchdown versus what Jesse James did? Because he extended, ball clearly is on the foul line.
Yeah.
I don't understand why that's.
But that's my thing is like it's the whole rule about
it's the rule. It's the
ground
is going by the rule.
Yeah, and the thing is the ground can't cause a fumble, but then also as soon as that ball hits the goal line, play's over.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So it's like because it's such a gray area rule.
It's a big gray area.
And that's the problem is a lot of people interpret it differently. They need to get on the same page.
That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I mean. That's why like it's sort of like the refs. It's like the refs can't get on the same page because you got different calls in one game versus another. You know? I just think that's sort of like bogus, for the players' sake.
I feel like in the Super Bowl, the refs did a great job. It's kind of it was pretty much of a clean. Only problem was just the replays. That was the only real controversy I saw throughout.
And if you notice, I haven't seen it. Maybe y'all haven't, but I haven't seen people complain about the calls, like penalties or nothing like that, because it was pretty balanced. Yeah. There wasn't tons of calls on one team and none on the other.
I mean, the only thing I could have seen that was different, the only call that people really had was the Alshon. Was it a PI or no PI? That's the only thing I could have seen that.
When his arm was under. Yeah, I know you're talking about. Down the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that.
But any final thoughts on the Super Bowl?
It was a great game. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed the game. Now, I was going for the Patriots throughout, but I thought it was one of the best Super Bowls we've had in a while. Because, I mean, I did not expect it to be high scoring. Like I said, I picked the under in this game. Mm-hmm. They shot way over on the over. They blew it out by like 30 points.
We thought it was going to be a low-scoring game, and it ended up being an offensive game. And
that's what most people want to see in the Super Bowl. They want to see, the straight high power. These are the two best teams. Yeah. They're going at it, and one of them have to be a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
And we got to talk about two other things that came out of the Super Bowl. Nick Foles, what's he going to get done, and what's going on with Malcom Butler?
I think Nick Foles is gone after this because he's not going to sit on the bench and say, "I won y'all a Super Bowl." I'm not going to take the backup role to Carson Wentz, even though it is his team. He's not going to take that role. I wouldn't. I mean, if I got a Super Bowl ring, I'm going to say, look, I know there's probably 5 or 6 teams that need a quarterback that I'll start day one for. I'm going to go over there.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing is he looks like he's getting – well, it looks like his cap hit's around $7.6 million. Mm-hmm. So he's going to make around – like they cut him. That'd be a big – well, it's not really a big cut.
I think they'll try and trade him.
Oh, yeah, they're going to
have value for him.
Yeah. I'm just saying they're not going to be cutting him at all.
No.
So, the thing is, like, there are teams that want Nick Foles as a quarterback probably right now because he just won that. My thing is he's been a starter once when he left, and he flamed out big time. Mm-hmm. Now, it was with Jeff Fisher. I'll say that. But
8-8 Jeff Fisher.
Somehow Jeff Fisher keeps coming up in these conversations.
Yeah.
But
I thought we made a rule to leave him out.
I thought we did too, but the Rams keep popping up somehow, and Nick Foles was involved in all that, so who knows? But that thing is, teams want to pay either however it costs for a quarterback. I mean, look, Bradford had 2-3 ACL injuries. Yeah. Still claim 2 first rounds.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know how that happened.
I don't even.
But regardless, I mean, I think they're going to try and trade him, especially since his value's up right now.
I mean, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Definitely because I was watching GMFB this morning. And, they said, yeah, like what I would do is like try to get value for him. I mean, he's a Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
Like your ceiling can't get more higher than that, as far as I know. If you're the MVP of the Super Bowl, I mean, your value has to be throughout the roof.
I wouldn't be surprised if they say you're going to give us a first round pick or you're not getting. That's what I would ask for. I'd say give me a first and then you can have it.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree.
I mean, if he's willing to sit now, Philly actually has the control here.
Yeah, they do.
Decide whatever the heck they want with him, regardless if he wants to complain or not. I don't know how Nick Foles is as a character in general.
Right.
Doesn't sound like he's a bad guy or anything. So I think they can trade him or they can just let him be the backup if he decides to take that role, because you don't know if Wentz is going to recover from that ACL injury at all. There's some guys that don't recover from it.
That's true.
So, I mean, for all he knows, he could be right back in there starting. Now, I am hearing reports that John DeFilippo is getting an offensive coordinator interview over in Minnesota. Now, the thing is, Foles might want to leave and go with him.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we know John DeFilippo is also looking at a head coaching position, so he could get stuck.
That same position.
Yeah.
He could say, look, I just won a Super Bowl. Why don't I get a shot at a head coach?
I just beat y'all, too.
Yeah.
I let y'all look. I know what Philly's weakness is, too, because I just played over there.
Yeah.
Now, another thing is, like, we're also hearing Case Keenum is probably going to resign there, too. So it could be.
Yeah.
So
they got an issue.
Yeah, they got 3 quarterbacks on the free agent block.
Yeah, they've got.
They already know they're not bringing back Bridgewater.
I don't know.
But they declined his option. More than likely, when you do that, normally you don't bring a guy back, and he didn't play this year except for that like 1 game.
Wow.
I would be surprised.
But I did see something like as well, like this morning where they did say like Foles is loved in Philly right now.
Yeah,
like
sure.
he's the guy right now.
Yeah,
in Philly. But
they're not gonna give cars. Yeah.
Yeah, but like what I was saying is just like he's loved, but I was just thinking like, does he want to stay because the city loves him so much? So I don't know, like we like, okay, well, I just won the Super Bowl for y'all. I'm gonna bounce. So I don't know if that's what I'm saying, but that's one thing because you know how they fans are. But it has nothing to do with the fans. I'm just saying, just like as far as like Lord, they really do like him, and I think that does have to factor into it.
I agree. I mean, I personally see Foles leaving just because he can go get a starting role somewhere else.
Charles Barkley said if he wins the Super Bowl, he's going to be in love. He's not going to have to pay for anything else in Philadelphia.
No.
Now, the thing is, I was showing Darius this earlier this morning. Nick Foles in this postseason was 77 of 106. Most of those incompletions came in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, he's lights out. That's a 72.6 completion percentage.
Yeah.
Now,
that's crazy.
I think it's going to be about getting into the right system for him. So if he can go find somewhere, because Giants apparently is kind of off the market because they said they're keeping Eli.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Jacksonville might interest him. Really, it's not him though. It's Philly, and I don't think they're going to turn him to Cleveland just because they don't want to do him a disservice.
But honestly, though, Cleveland makes a lot of sense.
It does.
Just because they've got so much ammo in the draft.
I mean, they got 2 top 5 picks.
What if they just say, you know what? We're done trying to draft quarterbacks. Let's give them our first pick and go get Saquon.
You can do either,
or go get Minka Fitzpatrick or anybody. I
would probably be more inclined to give them that 4th pick, just so
either
I can have who I want.
Take Saquon first.
Yeah, I would be more inclined to give them that 4th overall pick than I would be that first, because if that first pick, I can get whoever I want right here, right now. So that's what I would do.
It makes a lot of sense. It really does. I mean, I think Foles is gone. I mean, I think it's still Carson's team, even though Carson did get hurt and whatnot. But Carson showed he's the quarterback of the future.
Oh yeah.
I mean, either way it goes, he may have that may have been a fluke year. Who knows? But the way that he played, it doesn't look like it.
Right.
It looks like he's just naturally talented, and he's going to be there for 10, 15 years, however long he wants.
And I got to give a shout out to Doug Peterson. That dude absolutely.
His game plan,
phenomenal.
Flawless.
Yeah. It was dang near perfect.
Yeah.
Only problem they had was the missed extra point.
And that wasn't really on Doug Peterson.
And then, just throughout the entire, and then right before halftime, he just said, "No, we're not kicking this field goal at the 1-yard line.
Go for it." I like that. That call.
Take this Super Bowl, because he knows you can't be conservative against the Patriots.
No.
It's like playing against Alabama or another high-powered offense. You can't play safe against those guys.
Even if that call didn't work out and they didn't get that touchdown, I would have still loved that call. Because
I was all for it.
It's the last game of the season against the Patriots. You know they have a reputation for coming back and spoiling your victory.
You saw it happened.
Yeah,
they didn't score on that play. They just probably would have won that.
Yeah, but they did. And Doug Peterson said, you know what? We're going to be aggressive. We're going to take control of this game. We're not going to play to lose. We're going to play to win. I love that call. I mean, even if it didn't work out, I would have loved that
It's
call.
the final game of the year. There's no point in going conservative now. He's been aggressive all season long.
Yeah.
Even when Nick Foles took over, Nick Foles still won that game against the Rams.
Yeah. I mean, I think his offense showed that, the Patriots, they forced the Patriots to stop them all game long, and the Patriots just couldn't do it. And I think he saw that and said, look, we're going to go attack them and make this play. And they ended up getting a dub. So I love that call on his part. That was a good point by Chandler right there. But like Chandler said, there's a part 2 of this conversation.
Yes, it is.
As we all know, we're Titans fans here. So the one thing that the Titans are really trying to do is win this free agency thing that they got going on right now, because they are real close to hitting that next level, but they need a little bit of help, especially on defense. And what we're alluding to is Malcom Butler, the cornerback for the Patriots. Really talented guy. He's just not necessarily consistent, and he's been on a little bit of a downward slope. I think that's fair to say these past couple of years. Most notably known for the interception against the Seahawks on the goal line to pretty much seal the Super Bowl for the Patriots a couple of years back. Everybody that I've been talking to in Titans Nation, all the Titans fans, they really want Malcom Butler. Not everybody, but a large majority of them do. And I think it has to do with him being such a cornerstone for that defense for a couple of years and being a big-time playmaker. But I'm starting to think that Malcom Butler is not the safest option for the Titans to move on. I think there's some younger guys, some cheaper guys. I think that's the biggest point. Yeah, there's some cheaper options out there that will give you near the same level of production, if not more, in this free agency pool. What do y'all think about Malcom Butler to the Titans?
You go right in, bro.
Okay. You good? No, but what I think about Malcom Butler to the Titans, like I wouldn't necessarily mind it. But I said, as far as the organization, like I can see it happen just because J-Rob's in there. He's a Patriot guy. Yeah. Vrabel, Patriot guy as well. Yep. It's a lot of Patriots in this organization, so I can see that connection sort of working out. But like I said, I don't know if J-Rob can make him like sign a cheaper deal. Like I said, that's the key point. Yeah. Then I think that would honestly work. But I wouldn't mind it because on the field, I think Malcom Butler can help out Adoree Jackson, and him and Logan Ryan play together. So there's chemistry there. Yeah. And he can be a mentor to Adoree Jackson, just like, okay, this is what you need to do to be the next, to get to the next level of playing, of being a good cornerback. He like he said, he has a Super Bowl ring. He has the leadership there. So I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but like I say, I think the biggest thing is the financial aspect of it, because you have Laurent's contract coming up, and Mariota's contract is coming up as well. So I mean, you have a lot of financial things you have to get set, get set in stone first.
Right. And another thing, like, because we even brought it up last week, Malcom Butler is kind of living his whole career off of one play. So I'm not going to say he's a bad cornerback, because he's not a bad corner, but you do see time and time again, he does consistently get beat by the top-end receiver. Now, the NFL has made it to where cornerbacks really can't play handsy with them anymore. Right. Now, it looks like they're kind of taking away the rule of the 5 yards after contact. I mean, them guys be bumping each other up and down the field consistently.
Yesterday, they did that a lot.
So, but my biggest thing is Butler, he's going to be 28. Yeah. Or either he's 28 right now. So, he's kind of old, and I don't want to give him a 4-year max type contract for a cornerback and giving him all this money and getting, like you said, Marcus Mariota, luckily for him, they can pick up his 5th year option. They're gonna, not if, they are going to pick up his 5th year option. So you got that. Right. The same thing with Taylor Lewan too. So you got that going for you. Now it's like, it's not really a great cornerback class. Like, because coming out, you got Butler, Tremaine Johnson. Now that would be somebody that would intrigue me. That's what.
Now my guy that I want, Kyle Fuller. Underrated, cheap. He's going to be a productive player. He's coming off a strong year.
All I'm saying
is,
there's a good chance he's not going to hit the market.
Yeah, that's the one thing I am worried about.
Now, it's him and Prince Mukamara. They both played in Chicago last year, so there's a good chance neither one of them hit the market. Now, they might. Mm-hmm. Now, one name that just came released today is David Anderson. That dude just so, and apparently he's already got reports that people are already looking at him. He's a 6'1" corner, a little bit over 200. So and he's like 26 too.
He's got size, and he's got. I think he's physical at the line, which is something the Titans need. Which is the one reason why I would be fine with Butler is because he is a physical corner at the line. He's really good at press man. But the one thing that I just don't like about Amerson is there's a reason he got cut.
Yeah, and he just signed like a 4-year deal like a year or two ago.
And he only played in 6 games this year.
Yeah, and he had a foot injury. When I was doing research on it, he had a foot injury. But besides that, he's been durable for the most of his career. Like I mean, he was drafted 2nd round by Washington. Now, there's a reason he is a free agent again. Yeah, this is going to be his 3rd team he's moving on to. Yeah. So, I've also I don't have inside sources or anything like that, but there have been reports that he's not necessarily the best teammate. Also, yeah, I've heard that too.
So I mean, that could also be a problem.
That's part of the Raider Nation. They got that.
The Raiders have a little bit of attitude to them, which I don't have a problem with. I mean, I really don't. But
one thing I did want to say, like, I'll tell you who else was like a big body corner who also looked good on paper but didn't pan out for the Titans was Bleedy Ray.
Yeah,
dude was like 6'3". Bleedy Ray, 6'3". Like
honestly, one of the worst corners we've had in a while.
Really, he was bad. He was really bad.
Especially his last year here, he was horrible.
Oh yeah, he made me more frustrated every time he touched the field. He was bad. Yeah, he was real bad.
But that's what a lot of people are saying is Malcom Butler's going to be one of these guys that the Titans take a look at. I personally think we won't just because of his age, like Chandler mentioned, but also because he's wanting a max deal, which is what he wanted this past season when the Patriots brought in Stephon Gilmore, and they ended up giving him Malcom Butler's max deal, and it ended up working out well for them. But I just think with the level of production you're going to get and the level of consistency you're going to get out of a 28-year-old corner in Malcom Butler, what he wants isn't going to match that. He's going to want way more than what you can give him. And it's not to say that he's a bad corner, but it is to say that he's not as consistent as you would want or young enough to be able to give him that deal that he wants.
I mean, he's good. Like, if you want to pay him, if you're a team that's like dead on the heels of making the Super Bowl, so you're another team that's like, we only need the corner. That's the one spot where we get fine if you want to pay him that money. But, I mean, by the time he is 30, 31, 32, I mean, you're already going to start seeing that decline immediately. So.
And if you're willing to throw out that much money to a corner, why wouldn't you just go get Tremaine Johnson?
That's exactly what I was
like. Tremaine Johnson's going to want a big contract too.
He did have a big injury this year, and that kind of helped him. That kind of started sliding himself, and so that could be. But he's a taller corner too.
Yeah, he's tall. He's 6 foot plus. I know that much. Yeah. So I mean, he's kind of the same kind of player that lost his name. My bad. Butler. Yeah, my bad. I lost his name for just a second. Malcom Butler. He's about the same type of player. He's got the size, but my thing is, if you were just going to throw out that much money, you might as well give it to Tremaine.
I agree.
But I think the one thing that the Titans really do need is secondary help, and I think we're going to try and get that either through free agency or through the draft this year. But I just don't foresee us going after Malcom Butler.
Yeah, and I was talking to my one friend. He's a big Titans fan as well, too. He's up in Knoxville. But he was talking about how he really wanted LaMarcus Joyner, the little DB that's in
Yeah.
I mean, he's a good player. My problem is he's like 5'9".
Yeah, he's tiny. You don't want another Adoree.
You don't need somebody that's short. Like, I mean, you're great. Adoree a little taller than 5'9".
He's 5'10".
Oh, really? I think
he's short. Yeah, he's short. No. He's like 5'10", 185, 190.
Still, I mean, you can't.
Yes.
I mean, if you want to have another Nickelback, fine. But he's playing safety right now. And you already got Kevin Byard.
That's what I'm saying.
Playing
safety. We don't need any help.
Yeah, we got
safety. MTSU. They gave us a fine young safety. That's all I'm saying. 31 Savage. All right, so I think that covers that. Another thing we wanted to talk about was the McShay 2.0 mock draft that dropped today. First of all, did you look at the Bears pick?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me just mention this real quick because it's kind of funny. Chandler is a Bears fan. He also likes the Titans as well, but he is a Bears fan. They have him taking Calvin Ridley. I don't see that happening at all, but that's what McShay says as of right now. This is definitely going to change, so don't take this to heart because it is his only second mock draft. He's going to have like 15 of them by the time we get to the draft. But Calvin Ridley's supposed to go to the Bears, and I don't see that happening. But the main thing that we need to talk about is this pick for the Titans that McShay has. All right, now, let me just tell you the measurables and the stats because I think it shows that he does have talent, but this is a position we don't need at all.
We don't.
At all. Okay. The guy that McShay has us taken is from South Dakota State. He's 6'5", 260. He's a tight end. He's got 72 catches, 1,111 yards this season, and 7 touchdowns. He was an All-American first team, according to AP, 2016 and 2017. And he had 6 games this season with over 100 yards receiving, and 4 of those games were in a row. I don't see us taking a tight end, but this guy, his name is Dallas Goedert. That's his name.
Goedert.
Goedert. Okay, now don't get me wrong. His stats, not bad. Not bad at all. But we have Delaney Walker. And we drafted a 3rd-round tight end last year in Johnny Smith. Why would we take a tight end here? Like, I can't make any general logical reason as to why we would take one in the 1st round.
In the 1st round, yeah.
When we need an edge rusher, bad.
Mm-hmm.
When we need an interior linebacker, bad. When we need an interior offensive lineman, bad. And a corner also. Corners are probably one of our biggest issues as of right now. Why would we go and take a tight end when we've got arguably a top 3 tight end and somebody that we drafted last year in the 3rd round that shows a lot of promise?
I have no idea.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense. And you still have Philip Supernaut too.
Yeah, and Supernall's good too.
Exactly.
And he can block.
He can block, and he can play special teams.
Blocking.
Yeah.
I mean, there's sometimes you had just the block.
And Luke Stocker.
Yeah,
I don't know if we still have him, but we do have him, and he's predominantly a blocker. Yeah, VFL, GBO, all that. But I just don't get it.
I don't understand.
I don't understand. Like, to be this close to having a really good team, and you give Marcus Mariota another weapon, which I don't have a problem with, but in the 1st round, you want to take a tight end. Now, don't get me wrong, OJ Howard, I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
if you want to take a 1st-round tight end, OJ Howard, I'm perfectly fine with that. But Dallas Goedert, somebody that's recently just blown up out of nowhere. You know, he's had a good season. He's had a good college career. Supposedly, according to all the draft breakdowns and all that, he's an NFL-ready tight end. He's a good blocker and a receiver. He's a dual-threat tight end. You can line him up as an inline blocker, or you can line him up in the slot. I just don't see it happening. I really don't. I think we're definitely going to go after a defensive end or maybe even an offensive lineman. Now, also another point that we need to make is the one thing that we can't really do right now is make accurate picks just because we don't know how free agency is going to play out.
Exactly.
So we don't know if we're going to go after a corner in free agency or if we're going to go after a guard in free agency there, and that would therefore affect the draft and who we take.
I was just going to say that. I don't like when these mock drafts come out so
I don't
early.
either.
Now, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of mock drafts. I mean, it's fine, you know, because you get to read and insight, like, who are the players they think could possibly fall in, or is going to be in the 1st round or later rounds, so they got slipping and falling. Especially, you know, if you follow college enough, you see, hey, man, there goes a player I know, I got to see watch and play. Yeah. But they need to start coming out after free agency because it's not like the NBA where the draft is first. It's first. Free agency is first, so this thing's going to blow up all.
Yeah, and the funny thing that I saw about this, and Brandon, he says that we should take this tight end for good pass coverage. Don't get me wrong. Our offensive line does need help. And I think that was a point that John Robinson made this year by signing Luke Stocker. Luke Stocker is not a pass catcher. He is a blocker. He's 6'5", like 250. The man can block. But the issue that I have with it is, like Chandler said, we don't know how all this is going to play out. Brandon also says, who's out there as far as corner that would fit our style, whatever style that is?
Is it college or free agency? I don't know.
College or free agency, Brandon. Just specify for us real quick so we can break through that real quick. But the one thing that I noticed was McShay's first mock draft, the one before this one, before he edited it. No, he didn't have Harold Landry. I like Harold Landry. I think he'd be a great pick.
Kuiper had Harold Landry.
Yeah.
That's okay.
McShay didn't even have Landry in the 1st round. Wow. That's insane, in my opinion. But regardless, he had Josh Jackson, the corner from Iowa. Yeah, okay, free agency. Okay, so we mentioned Kyle Fuller. We mentioned Tremaine Johnson. I don't think Tremaine Johnson's going to work just because of how much he's going to ask for, or Malcom Butler because he's going to ask for a lot of money also.
DJ Gaines. There's apparently a corner in Indianapolis. I don't know why anybody wants a corner from Indy.
I don't know why anybody would want anybody other than T.Y. Hilton or Andrew Luck from Indy, but that's beside the point. Yeah, Luck is always hurt too. But that's a couple guys I would like to see Kyle Fuller. I don't see it happening, but that would be my favorite pick. Yeah, Chicago. That's Chandler's team right there. But back to the McShay thing. He had us taking Josh Jackson in his first mock draft, and I'd be fine with that. Josh Jackson. He
hasn't slipping out of Pittsburgh.
Yeah. He's 6'1", 192. He had 8 picks, and he was the Big Ten D-back of the year this year. The man can play, and everybody likes his style. They say he's really physical. They say he's got really fluid hips, and he can read the plays well. But now McShay has him slip into the Steelers, which I think is interesting.
And they even took Artie Burns last year in the first round.
Yeah.
So,
But my thing is, with what we need, we should go after someone like Josh Jackson.
I agree.
I think we should definitely go after a corner or someone that –
if he's there.
Yeah, I doubt he'll be there, especially with Pro Day coming up and Combine.
Combine starting in March.
He's going to kill all that. I don't see that happening. I really don't see him.
McShay has, his biggest thing is going to be because he had 8 interceptions in his last season. So his biggest thing is he's saying that it's going to be his 40 time to depend how far he will jump. So he's going to, at 28, he's definitely looking to climb probably into the top 20.
Yeah.
And Titan, if you want a top tier corner, if you don't get one in free agency, move that spot, trade up. I don't know what you can. I don't know what all you might need to trade, but you can do it.
So Brandon says, look at the quarterbacks in our division. We need players that can hit and play man to man without getting beat in a foot race. And I agree. I mean, that's something the Titans are trying to do with guys like Logan Ryan and guys like Adoree Jackson. And I think Adoree is going to turn out to be a really solid corner.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
I don't have any problems with Adoree right now at all. Yeah. But I think we do need at least one more really solid corner. And like Brandon says, I think we need someone that can play man-to-man with the quarterbacks in our division. Deshaun Watson's looking like a star in the making. Blake Bortles is Blake Bortles, but he did have a really good year this year overall.
I kind of expect him to be gone.
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement also. I think they're probably going to try and draft or trade. And then also, Andrew Luck, whenever he's healthy, he's easily one of the most talented quarterbacks in the league.
I'll say if right now because we still do not know what's going on with the whole situation.
Right, because he supposedly – I don't think they're revealing everything they know yet, to be honest.
I talk about
Andrew Luck.
I mean, he was even saying he could retire.
Yeah.
So
if
that's coming out and you don't know what – especially the way NFL players been going on lately. A lot of guys are retiring when we haven't expected it to.
Yeah.
You can even say that now.
And Gronk, too.
Gronk was not considering that, too. Because we've seen that with Calvin Johnson leaving early and Patrick Willis and other players.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, McShay, he's saying we're going to take Dallas Goedert. I don't see that happening. He's already getting comparisons to Gronk, which I think is kind of silly because pretty much any tight end that's really talented coming out of the draft always gets compared to Gronk.
I say that now because, one, the Bears tight end they drafted in the second round, Adam Shaheen, he was compared to Gronk.
Yeah.
Because he was dominating, running over people, and he could barely get on the field this year because he's not too smart up there. Mm-hmm. Now, that's another thing. Now, what was his dude's stat line again? Dallas?
6'5".
He had
what is stats?
2017, he had 72 catches, 1,100 yards, and 7 touchdowns.
Now, see, with these guys, they want them to absolutely dominate, like the division. Now,
especially if you're playing in a small school like that.
They want them to absolutely dominate those smaller schools. So that's a D1 AA school. He's in the Missouri Valley. Yeah, that's actually where Carson Wentz came out of, too.
Yeah,
same school, too.
Same school.
So now that's kind of like the big thing. Those guys don't dominate there. And then it's like, okay, what's the problem there?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't see that happening. I really don't. I think based on his stats and what I've seen from him, he's got crazy hands. He's a big body. He can make a lot of plays, but I just really don't see us investing a first-round pick in a tight end when you have Delaney and Jonnu and Luke Stocker and Philip Supernall. I just don't see it happening.
Mm-hmm.
But like what he said, Harold Landry, have y'all watched film on him? This man is a beast. Like I was watching some film again. I can't remember what games I watched, but he was eating these tackles up. I mean, when his hand's in the dirt, he is a dominant factor. He's an X factor every single play. He's got a motor. He reminds me of Derek Barnett, except he's bigger. He's taller. He's more athletic. He's got a little bit smaller of a gut on him. Also, that's always a good thing. But Derek Barnett can play too, so I'm not trying to bash Derek Barnett. But
we love him.
Yeah, VFL for sure, and fumble recovery. Come on. But anyways,
and that's my barber school.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So there's that too. But yeah, I mean, Harold Landry, I'd be totally fine with that.
Oh yeah, I would.
Or really any corner that's going to go first round. I mean, Josh Jackson would be amazing, but I don't see us getting him, to be honest. I think he's going to go too high.
Yeah.
Luck for some. Yeah, that's what Brandon said. But yeah. So I mean, I don't see it happening. We'll probably come back to this later as we get closer to the draft. We're gonna look at McShay and all the other mock drafts and see what they're saying. But I just don't see Dallas Goedert coming to the Titans in any way, shape, or form. I just don't see it.
Yeah, like I said, I don't see us investing the first round pick into a tight end when we probably have one of the top 2 or 3 tight ends in our franchise history.
Yeah,
playing right now. So I mean, I don't see it happening. I don't know what was probably going on with McShay whenever he was writing that up, but like I said, the one I read earlier when I tell you Rashawn Rashawn Evans from Bama,
Yeah.
I seen that. I was like, okay, well, I would like that too.
Yeah.
I was trying to film upon him, but then class ensued.
Yeah, Rashawn
But
Evans,
he's real good anyway. I've seen it.
Rashawn Evans is a dog. Yeah, he can play. I wouldn't have any issues with that either, even though he is a Bama. I don't like
One thing
Bama.
I can see why he picked a tight end right now
Is Delaney's age?
Yeah,
Maybe.
And unless he has like an inside source into what the offense is going to be, maybe they're going to be running 2 tight end sets, but you wouldn't know that yet.
But that also doesn't make
LaFleur's
sense
gonna
because if he had sources telling him, hey, they're going after Dallas Goedert, they would have been telling him that the first time too. So he would have said Dallas Goedert is going to the Titans from the beginning.
Yeah.
But he changed his pick. So I don't think that's what's happening either.
No, I'm just saying, unless he knows what LaFleur likes to run.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, that too.
I don't know if LaFleur wants to run 2 tight end sets because it didn't really look like it in LA with McShay. So McVay. Too many minutes.
All right, so Brandon says Delaney isn't getting any younger, but I agree. Wait for someone in late rounds. You got to think what's our biggest needs and what is in the psyche of Rabel's head and J. Rob's also. So he's pretty much saying, he agrees that Delaney is getting older, but he doesn't think we should invest that much into it, and I have to agree with him.
My thing is, he even said that it's not a great tight end class when he was writing about the dude.
Yeah.
So now,
but he's the next Gronk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, the free agency class, it's got some guys out there that, maybe Trey Burton. He's like the second or third tight end with Chris Sullivan Hurts over there in Philly. Now, that's a guy, if you want to pair him with Delaney and start ordering some stuff like that, fine, But I'm not drafting a tight end in the first round. I don't care who it is.
That's a bold statement. O.J. Howard can play some football, but that's beside the point.
He didn't do anything this year.
No, he didn't.
It's also because he's behind Cameron Brate.
Cameron Brate's going to get his snaps. So yeah, I mean, we got a little bit of that. I think we're definitely going to come back to it as we get closer to the draft. But also, one thing I wanted to mention was McShay has Sam Darnold going first now.
To Cleveland?
Yeah, I don't see that happening. And a lot of people are saying that Cleveland is leaning towards Josh Allen from Wyoming.
Ooh, okay.
And
he has Josh Allen,
Midwest guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going 6 to the Jets behind Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
I don't think he took into much consideration where Kirk Cousins is going to go.
Yeah.
Now, did you hear about Kirk Cousins and the Redskins?
Yeah,
that wanted to franchise him.
That is crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I hope they do because I don't like that organization anyway. So just because the way that owner is and all that. So if you ask me, please franchise him and just screw up your entire cap.
Yeah, that's a big risk
because nobody's gonna trade for him. What would be the point in trading for him? Because they're like, no, you guys can just have him.
Is it right that if they franchise him, he'd be owed $19 million for 1 year?
Whew.
Is that right?
No, it's probably more than that.
Or it's either 19 or 25, one of the two.
It's because it increases by 120 every year.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever it was, it's gonna increase by that much. So whatever, he's gonna get paid top dollar.
I just don't understand it. I really don't.
From Kirk Cousins, I'm like,
he's getting paid either way.
I'm signing that bad boy, and I'm saying, I got a little hamstring injury right now.
He's got the Brock Osweiler effect. He's got that going on. Pay me when I'm on the bench.
He's better than Osweiler.
Oh yeah, no question. Yeah,
I think any quarterback in the league right now is better than Osweiler. I take Borders over.
That's a bold statement.
But
it's really not though.
It's true.
I mean, it's not, but it is.
Osweiler legit might be one of the worst quarterbacks in this league.
Yeah, I'm not going to fight you on that one.
Give me Rusty Smith back.
Rusty Smith, Blake. Nah, give me Billy Bowling.
I'll take
my man Billy Bowling.
Billy B.
Billy did that to me. They kept coming every time Steve McNair went. That would be the worst feeling going to a Titans game. Seeing McNair go down, and here comes the the game's over.
Billy Bowling's getting a trot out on the whole game. Yeah,
that's here comes Billy Bowling. Time to go home. He's not leading no comeback win. I don't know if dude even had a win in his entire career.
I don't know. But yeah, man, the Titans have some funny quarterbacks. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, so another quick little thing for Titans news. The Titans have hired 3 new assistant coaches.
Everybody hiring a lot of coaches.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising. And Josh McDaniels is confirmed going to Indianapolis.
Patricia confirmed
the Lions.
Yeah, Lions.
Yeah.
I don't know that yesterday was Sunday night.
I think his was last night. McDaniels
was today.
McDaniels was this morning. Okay.
Yeah, McDaniels was today. But the Titans, they brought in Terrell Williams. He's a defensive line coach. He was with Miami Dolphins. That defensive line is scary. They've got Cameron Wade.
Like in the Dolphins.
Yeah, and Ndamukong Suh. I mean, they've got some really talented guys down there. Keith Carter, offensive line coach, and Tony Dews, running back coach.
He's at West Virginia.
Yeah.
From what I saw.
Yeah, West Virginia. I don't know much about Keith Carter, to be honest. So if we can get a Google on that, that'd be nice. But we've got three new coaches coming in. It looks like Vrabel is starting to finish up his coaching staff, so that's a good sign for the Titans.
Yeah, running back coach from West Virginia.
Yeah,
running back coach Keith Carter from the Falcons.
But I think he was also at West Virginia.
He may have been, but I'm just saying that's what.
Yeah, he probably was at West Virginia, and then he went to the Falcons, and then
he know what he did with over.
Yeah. So, so my thinking on that is now that he is used to having a 2-back system and having guys that like to play the spread and stuff like that, what are they going to do with Henry? Because Henry is not typically that kind of back. I think he's definitely going to want to bring in a fast guy or somebody that can be like a change of pace receiving back.
So try to make it like New Orleans, I guess. So like a
Kamara,
Ingram type thing.
Yeah, we already mentioned that before. They need another running back that can catch and that's just flat out pure speed.
That's another thing the Titans need in the draft, to be honest. Or free agency.
I mean, it's hard to say, like, dang, this is a playoff team, but it feels like they have so many holes. Like, it's just like, really, how do we have this many holes? And they still made the point. I mean, they were a mediocre team last year.
So let's see. He says, "Is that good? Don't know much about him." I mean, the thing is,
assistant coach. I mean, that's not. I mean, those actually are. It's position coaches that actually help make your players. That's why it's actually all the credit goes to head coaches and coordinators. But a lot of times you notice like those position coaches, they'll want to stay in the teams because the GMs oversees a lot of that stuff, and so they'll actually say, "Yeah, that dude he's staying on your staff. I don't care what you're talking about. This dude is staying there." Those guys are a big impact in how a player progresses. Yeah. They see them every single day.
Right.
I'm just curious to see what he does with Henry because Henry is not like Freeman or Coleman. Yeah, I mean he's a completely different kind of back.
Right.
And he's not necessarily known for catching the ball either. I mean he can catch it a little bit, but he's definitely not a Devontae Freeman or anybody like that.
He's like in between the guard and the tackle. Like that's different.
Yeah. And I'm curious to see how that works out, especially with LaFleur and how he'd like to use Todd Gurley. That's going to be an interesting little dynamic they've got going on there.
Speaking of Todd, did you see somebody tweeted Todd Gurley? Brandon Cooks trying to jump over when he was jumping over dude and just got stuff. And somebody tweeted Todd Gurley said, Todd Gurley, he tried stealing your moves and it didn't work out. Todd Gurley just sitting there with the looking eyes.
Shot. Yeah, so I think that's going to be an interesting dynamic within the Titans coaching staff. I am curious to see what Terrell Williams does also because he has so much talent on that defensive line. I'm sure he's
interesting. Yeah.
I'm curious to see what he does with Casey, and I'm also curious to see who he wants to take in the draft because he's definitely going to have a voice in that.
Most definitely with the pass rush. Yeah, he's going to have a big voice in that. Yeah. I want to see what Daquan Jones is going to do too. I'm interested.
Daquan can play.
That's what I'm
his contract's up.
Yeah. So they
you got to bring him back.
They've got to bring him back. Like above all,
that's probably going to be one of their main priorities this offseason. So, in the worst case scenario, you put a franchise on.
Yeah.
I mean, who else are they leaving that's so significant that they're going to lose? I mean, you're going to free up cap by getting rid of Decker, Murray, and
I think Who else is? I know
there's some other names out there.
Williamson's a free agent this year too.
Suckup, I think
Suckup is.
Suckup is too. I think they bring him.
I think you can look. Suckup started like for whatever he just started missing kicks after he broke that record, and then it's just like, dude, really, it's like he kind of sold out.
It's in his head.
Yeah.
But sometimes
I think he can
rebound.
Yeah. But I think Williamson's definitely got to come back. I think Daquan Jones definitely needs to come back. I think Daquan, before he got hurt, was off to a really good start.
Yeah, I hate that he got hurt too.
Yeah. So I think that's going to be something we need to look at.
What do you think about Eric Walton? Does he stay?
He's getting old, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Isn't he 34, 33, something like that?
He didn't have a bad year.
I mean,
when he played, he made plays.
So you know how the older guys
do.
Eventually they start, their body just wear down. Looks like it's 32.
32, okay.
He'll be 33 at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so he is about to be.
Shout out to MT.
Yeah, another MTSU player. Go Raiders. But also, it's one of those things where Brian Arakpo's getting old too.
Derek Morgan not getting younger.
No, and Derek Morgan's gonna be 29 this year, I believe. I know he's 28 right now.
And that's why I understand Kuiper having him select the pass rusher. Well, yeah, because Kuiper had him with Harold Landry.
Harold Landry, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Harold Landry is actually one of those guys that the Titans are really going to look at.
Because Kevin Dodd hadn't lived up to the person he's supposed to be. And that might be a guy they want to get rid of too.
Yeah,
Kevin. He's still on a rookie contract. So
yeah, but Kevin Dodd was a healthy scratch like 4 games this year.
Yeah,
like that's not a good look.
And that's when you know you got a problem when you got healthy scratches.
Yeah. I don't see us giving him any more chances, to be honest.
Especially for a third round. And with a whole new regime coming in, Dean Pease and Braver, they're going to look at him like,
why are you here?
Yeah, like, come on, bro.
Yeah, like, what were we thinking when we took him? Yeah. But I agree with that. We're running low on time, so we're going to wrap it up here in a minute. But our last segment that we always do is the good, bad, dirty, courteous of my man Chandler over there. So, yeah, Chandler always kicks this one off since this was his idea. Start it off.
All right, man. So what I got for my good is the ex-Bears over the weekend. Now,
yeah.
2 of them played in the Hall of Fame. 2 of them played in the Super Bowl. Both of them got 2 rings. So I'm talking about Alshon Jeffrey and Corey Graham. So you guys probably don't remember Corey Graham. It was a long time ago. It felt, well, at least it felt like, this is back in the Lovie Smith days. We done had this hard to run our 3rd new game coach since then.
Yeah.
Corey Graham, he was one of our DBs, and he wanted to go to the Bills. Actually played extremely well with the Bills. And then got to give it up to my boy Brian Urlacher, making it on the first ballot with Ray Lewis. And I kind of got 2 goods on this. So another good one is the Hall of Fame class this year. It's going to be one of the greatest.
Yeah, one of the best ones.
You got Ray Lewis, Brian Urlacher, Brian Dawkins, Terrell Owens, and the GOAT and Randy Moss.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I still probably take Moss over Jerry. No offense, Jerry Rice, but Moss.
That man can run.
Moss is nasty.
Yeah, he can run.
I like it.
Yep.
So my good cliche, but has to be to my friend Krishan Barkley and Cody Collingwood, who has been long time Eagles fans. And I remember being in middle school with my friend Cody, and he was always like, "Yeah, like, I'm like the biggest Eagles fan or whatever." And I told him congratulations on Facebook. So that's my good. And then my friend Krishan is like, he's like one of them legit Philly fans. Like I think he's from Philly, so he's all about that. Like when the Super Bowl was going on, he had like the meme face going on. He was just ready for the game.
Yeah.
So just want to say, like, that's my good. Shout out to those guys who've been longtime Eagles fans. Y'all deserve it.
All right. I'd say my good is Carson Wentz got 2 rings this weekend.
Oh, married.
Yeah, he won his Super Bowl ring. Even though he didn't play, he still won it. But he also engaged to his girlfriend. They're hitched now, so that's pretty cool. I thought that was kind of cool how he got 2 of the biggest life-changing moments of his entire life all in the same weekend. So, applause for Carson Wentz.
That's true.
All right, so my bad is Bill Belichick's decision to bench Malcom Butler.
No.
And actually kind of I also kind of got 2 bads for this. I don't have 2 bads for that. But 2 bad. And another one, Brandon Cooks, what in the world are you doing? Just run upfield. That's why you got your head clocked in. I had a lot of problems with people trying to say, that was an illegal hit. That wasn't an illegal hit. He was dancing around trying to beat one guy, catch the ball, go upfield. He wanted to get knocked out of the game. Malcolm Jenkins came in there with the good little pop on. But yeah, my main thing, Bill Belichick, why didn't you start Malcom Butler? He played almost 98% of the defensive snaps in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
And then you say, yeah, I'm being a little bit arrogant here. No. Why not outsmart himself?
Yep.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That hit was honestly one of my favorite parts of the game.
Yeah, that was a game changer.
That was.
Yeah.
So I want to throw like a quick little bit in there. Shout out to Derek Barnett from Nashville. I wanted to see someone from Nashville get a ring. So shout out to him, and also shout out to Brandon Grant for making that play too. Who went to Michigan. Shouts out to my backpack.
Yeah.
My bad would have to be the Cleveland Cavaliers, honestly.
Yeah.
I think that organization is imploding from.
Is it fair to say dumpster fire? Getting there,
and there's reports that IT is gonna be going for Kemba, like Kemba's leaving, or Kemba's going.
Jordan said he's not gonna trade him unless it's for an All-Star. So I don't think he's trading for Isaiah. Man, you can't trade Isaiah because he's a free agent at the end of the year. What's the point in trading for somebody you don't want?
It's not going well.
Exactly. So
unless they're getting that Brooklyn pick, which that pick has not turned out to be so good as people thought it was gonna be. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be like the 7th pick or 8th or 10th, somewhere around.
I know the Grizzlies
playing good.
The Grizzlies have
for Brooklyn.
Yeah,
for Brooklyn, they're playing good.
But yeah, that organization as a whole, I love LeBron because that's who I grew up watching.
Yeah,
is LeBron, because there wasn't no Grizzlies games being broadcast over here, so all I had to watch was Cavalier games.
So you had DirecTV in that specific package. You could have got you some.
Man, look, we was poor. We couldn't afford that. I had to watch what was David on TV, and that was LeBron James and the Cavs. So but he's been my favorite player ever since. So.
Yeah, no. I grew up a LeBron fan originally, but then I started watching more Kobe, and then
shout out to the Grizzlies.
Black Mamba.
Grizzlies my favorite team though, but LeBron's my favorite player.
Yeah, no.
I'd say my bad has to be Tom Brady's hands.
Yeah.
That man, he had a perfect catch. It hit him right in the hands, and he just couldn't make it happen.
Only excuse you can only give because he had to make it over the shoulder.
Oh, I don't want to hear that.
He had to make it over the shoulder. That's the only excuse anybody can give for that.
Yeah,
there's no way you can.
You put me in that Patriots uniform, and I make that play. Tom Brady, you better be making that play as much as they pay you.
Look. He heard them footsteps from the dude that was all the way 30 yards away.
He was probably like, I got to get out of bounds.
The thing is, he kept his eyes on it, too. It's not like he tried running with it after the catch.
And the memes of that catch. The Super Bowl trophy.
Which didn't make sense because it was coming out in the second quarter.
Have you seen the one with the guy with the fishing pole where he's like, you got to be quicker than that? And he's got it up on the fishing pole and it's hanging down, and he's like, trying to catch it and can't.
Almost got it.
Man, Tom Brady, you get a bad for that one. You got to pull that one down.
All right, and my ugly, this is probably one of the worst uglies I've seen in a while. It's going to the Philly fans after the Super Bowl, and it's the one guy who decided to eat horse poop.
Yeah, I saw that. That was bad.
What in the world are you doing eating the horse poop because your team won a Super Bowl?
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Millions of dollars. I don't care who it is. I'm not eating no dang horse poop.
No, not doing it.
I thought, I didn't know that was horse poop.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
He thought it was chocolate ice cream.
No, because I was in the scene, and then when I seen it on TV, I said, this dude's been down eating. So I said, what?
No.
The man
I didn't know if it
they literally turned Philadelphia into just
it's like a zoo or a jungle.
Yeah,
we knew it was gonna be bad. It
was gonna be bad if winner. It winner or lose.
It was gonna be awful.
Yeah,
it was gonna be Either way, it was gonna be bad.
I agree.
Ugly. Whoo. There's a lot. Well, it's not really a lot in my opinion. My ugly, I would have to say, I can't even honestly think of one, to be honest with you. I'll let you, Jessica, you go, so I can think of it, because I can't think of anything.
All right, I'll say the one ugly thing, even though it's not really that big of a deal, is Justin Timberlake's shirt.
Yeah,
I didn't like it. It looked like the what's the painter, the meme with the afro?
Yeah,
no, not Bob Dylan.
I'm tripping. What's that? I thought it was Bob.
No, Bob Dylan's a singer. Darius thinks Bob Dylan's a painter, but bro. That's also ugly.
There it goes. There, hold me, Mario.
What's his name?
I don't know. He had the episode on the Boondocks.
Bob Ross. I know
Bob Ross. I knew Bob.
That shirt was horrible. JT, I love you. You got some fire music, but that shirt was horrible.
I agree.
So yeah.
JT's fire. Ugly. I give myself that ugly. That was
That's fine. Yeah, that's Darius's ugly. You don't get an answer this week. You got to come back more prepared next week.
He kind of had 2 bad, so it's too good. So he's fine.
Yeah, you.
I had 2 for the price of 1.
Yeah. So this is the end of the show. We'll see you guys next Tuesday, 4:30, like always. Love talking about this stuff. We'll be back. Hope y'all enjoy it. If y'all have any topics y'all want us to talk about next week, let us know. Hit up our Facebook page, 65 South Sports, Twitter at 65 South Sports. Hit me up if you want. I don't care. Any of them, whichever. So, yeah, this is us saying goodbye. See you guys later. Have a good day.
Love, peace, and hair grease.
What did you just say?
Love, peace, and hair grease.
Oh, my.